Welcome to part 1 of Selection from Sacred Text of Ancient Hinduism, Upanishads, on Words of Wisdom. Hinduism is believed to be one of the oldest living religions in the world, with origins tracing back to the ancient Vedic civilization in India. The earliest Hindu spiritual text, the Rig Veda, was compiled in approximately 900 BC. Other sacred Hindu scriptures include the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ramayana, among others. Of all the Vedic literature, the Upanishads are known for their in-depth exploration of concepts that are at the spiritual core of Hinduism. The teachings in the Upanishads are generally presented as dialogue between teacher and disciple. Many of these conversations elaborate on the spiritual seeker's path to the highest inner truth. Included in the discussions are concepts like Atman, generally defined as the higher self or the soul, and Brahman, the Supreme Lord who represents absolute truth. The oneness of soul and God is also key to Vedic teachings and leads to further discussions about the unity of all life and the unchanging nature of truth. Today, we continue sharing this Katha Upanishad and its dialogue between aspiring disciple Nachiketas and Yama, the ruler of death. We will also introduce the Kena Upanishad. The main theme of this Upanishad focuses on how to know the absolute truth, or Brahman. Such knowledge transcends the workings of the mind. The Kena Upanishad concludes that it is possible to connect with this absolute truth through the soul and its union with God. Katha Upanishad. This ancient Aswata tree has its root above and branches below. That is pure. That is Brahman, the Supreme Lord. That alone is called the Immortal. All the worlds rest in that. None goes beyond that. This truly is that. Whatever there is in the universe is evolved from prana and vibrates in prana. That is a mighty terror, like an upraised thunderbolt. They who know that become immortal. From fear of him, the fire burns. From fear of him, the sun shines. From fear of him, Indra and Vayu and death, the fifth, speed forth. If a man is not able to know him before the dissolution of the body, then he becomes embodied again in the created worlds. As in a mirror, so is he seen within oneself. As in a dream, so is he seen in the world of the Father's departed spirits. As in water, so is he seen in the world of Gandharvas, the angelic realm. As light and shadow, so is he seen in the world of Brahma, or the Creator. Knowing that the senses are distinct from the Atman, or the ultimate essence of the universe, and their rising and setting separate from the Atman, a wise man grieves no more. Higher than the senses is the mind. Higher than the mind is the intellect. Higher than the intellect is the great Atman. Higher than the Atman is the unmanifested. Beyond the unmanifested is the all-pervading and imperceptible being, Purusha, or abstract essence of the self. By knowing him, the mortal is liberated and attains immortality. His form is not to be seen. No one can see him with the eye. He is perceived by the heart, by the intellect, and by the mind. They who know this become immortal. When the 5 organs of perception become still, together with the mind, and the intellect ceases to be active, that is called the highest state. This firm holding back of the senses is what is known as yoga. Then one should become watchful, for yoga comes and goes. He cannot be attained by speech, by mind, or by the eye. How can that, Brahman, be realized except by him who says, he is? He should be realized as he is, and also as the reality of both visible and invisible. He who knows him as he is, to him alone his real nature is revealed. When all desires dwelling in the heart cease, then the mortal becomes immortal, and attains Brahman here. When all the ties of the heart are cut asunder here, then the mortal becomes immortal. Such is the teaching. There are 101 nerves of the heart. One of them penetrates the center of the head. Going upward through it, one attains immortality. The other 100 nerve courses lead, in departing, to different worlds. The Purusha, the inner self, of the size of a thumb, is ever seated in the heart of all living beings. With perseverance, man should draw him out from his body as one draws the inner stalk from a blade of grass. One should know him as pure and deathless, as pure and deathless. Thus, Nachiketas, having acquired this wisdom taught by the ruler of death, together with all the rules of yoga, became free from impurity and death, and attained Brahman, the Supreme. So also will it be with another, who likewise knows the nature of the self. Peace Chant. May He, the Supreme Being, protect us both. May He be pleased with us. May we acquire strength. May our study bring us illumination. May there be no enmity among us. Om. Peace. 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 Here ends this Upanishad. Kina Upanishad. Peace Chant. May my limbs, speech, prana, life force, sight, hearing, strength, and all my senses gain in vigor. All is the Brahman, Supreme Lord of the Upanishads. May I never deny the Brahman. May the Brahman never deny me. May there be no denial of the Brahman. May there be no separation from the Brahman. May all the virtues declared in the sacred Upanishads be manifest in me, who am devoted to the Atman, higher self. May they be manifest in me. Om. Peace. 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 Part 1. By whom commanded and directed does the mind go towards its objects? Commanded by whom does the life force, the first cause, move? At whose will do men utter speech? What power directs the eye and the ear? It is the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, the speech of the speech, the life of the life, the eye of the eye. The wise, freed from the senses and from mortal desires, after leaving this world, become immortal. There the eye does not go, nor speech, nor mind. We do not know that. We do not understand how it can be taught. It is distinct from the known, and also it is beyond the unknown. Thus we have heard from the ancient teachers who told us about it. That which speech does not illumine, but which illumines speech, know that alone to be the Brahman, the Supreme Being, not this which people worship here. That which cannot be thought by mind, but by which, they say, mind is able to think, know that alone to be the Brahman, not this which people worship here. That which is not seen by the eye, but by which the eye is able to see, know that alone to be the Brahman, not this which people worship here. That which cannot be heard by the ear, but by which the ear is able to hear, know that alone to be the Brahman, not this which people worship here. That which none breathes with the breath, but by which breath is inbreathed, know that alone to be the Brahman, not this which people worship here.
My motivation to become vegan was fueled by my love of animals, as well as my desire to pursue a healthier lifestyle as I healed from addiction. Katra Corbett, vegan.
Wondrous viewers, thank you for joining us today for selection from sacred text of ancient Hinduism, Upanishads, part 1 of 2, on words of wisdom.